Sami Nader is the director of the Levant Institute for Strategic Affairs and joins us now from Beirut. Sami, good to see you again. What's the situation in terms of before the explosion and how much food came from abroad, how much of it came through the port? Are there official figures for those kind of things?
No, up to now, only 3 ships came into the port of Beirut after the explosion, and this is not enough by all means. Usually, I mean, like 10 to 15 boats were the usual traffic per day. But this explosion has been devastating at all levels. It destroyed the whole infrastructure. It's true that some ships are getting in through some shores. However, all the infrastructures, all the transit companies, insurance, shipments, there is a hub of firms related to the port and to activities related to the port that are totally out of business and practically almost destroyed. This put into question really what will come next if no other substitute port is used. And until now, I mean, my fear is that political bickering will be a major obstacle toward choosing Tripoli. And in my view, this is the only substitute port that can replace Beirut port for now, although it's not equipped to be a replacement for Beirut port, but it can be used as a substitute. One major element that Lebanon imports like 95% of its basic needs. It starts with wheat, with gas oil, with medicines. Lebanon, as you know, is a trading economy. It's not an industrial economy. So practically everything is imported. For the last year, the amount of import was practically 20 billion, which amount for like 30% of the GDP. And this, the explosion was a major blow to this to the whole economy, because now the imports will be reduced to their minimum. It's true, it will help maybe rebalance the balance of payment, to fix the balance of payment, but at a very, very, very high price, because the number of jobs that are today totally destroyed. People have lost their jobs because they lost their companies, and this comes on the top or after a financial crisis that the worst financial crisis that the Lebanon went through, amplified by the lockdown of the COVID-19. So
absolutely.
This is a
Sami, if you don't mind, I'd like to interrupt you.
By all means.
I'm really sorry to interrupt you, but I want to get one more question in, and we are running out of time. So we're thinking possibly the port of Tripoli. There's also, is there the possibility of assistance and food coming from land and also by air? But even if the food and the assistance comes in, how much difficulty is there going to be in getting it to the people that need it, because of how many people have been displaced, because of, presumably you've already talked about the logistical problems that exist with the explosion. Those logistical problems will have affected other networks as well that might be able to play a role in distributing the assistance.
This is exactly the key issue. I mean, from land, theoretically, yes, but this could come from Turkey. But given the situation in Syria and the type of regime you have in Syria, I'm not seeing a streamline import through land. This is, I mean, frankly speaking. As for the airport, is under the control of Hezbollah, and this will by itself be a constraint Plus, the third issue is of essence that the international community, it's like the Lebanese population, they don't trust the government to distribute this aid. So now they have to rely on local NGOs, and the French president was talking about, I mean, an international agency, a UN agency, in order to manage the distribution of this. So this is to say there are different layers of complications, and the only way to get out of this mess is to speed up the process of forming an independent government that could re-establish trust with the people and with the international community.
Sami, thank you so much for your time. Sami Nader speaking to us from Beirut.